Welcome to a special edition of AWM Now, celebrating 55 years of ministry with Andrew Wommack. To mark this extraordinary milestone, Andrew decided to visit his staff to hear about the tremendous growth God has brought to AWM and Charis since March 23, 1968. Last week, Andrew toured our television department, reminiscing on the growth from his first set with a single camera to having nearly 1,000 shoots per year. And with millions of people tuning into Andrew on a daily basis, the demand for physical products has grown exponentially since 1968. This week, Andrew paid a visit to our product services department to see how it's grown from him single-handedly copying cassette tapes in a shoebox to multiple warehouses needing a 90-day inventory plan just to keep up with demand.
We're celebrating 55 years, and during the 8.5 years you've been here, how have you seen things change? If I'm not mistaken, I think we were like 5 or 6 weeks from the time we got an order to fulfillment.
Yeah. When I first came in 2014, we did not have a 90-day inventory established or anything like that. They were trying to make everything kind of on demand. And so one of my assignments when I came in was to develop a 90-day inventory system. Within about 6 to 7 months, we probably had it down. So we were getting items out the door within about 1 or 2 days, and then we continued to improve from that. So
that's
now we get
good,
them out.
from 6 weeks to 1 or 2 days.
Yeah. And this room basically is where we are producing many of our books, all of our study guides, booklets. So over here, this is our book binder.
This allowed us to still function during COVID, and not only cut our costs down, but it just gives us more freedom. We aren't dependent on other
Exactly.
people. And here's Peggy. She's been with me for how many years?
Tell me, you know.
I don't know. I know it's been a long time. It's
25 working and 2 years on the prayer line with Lisa and Cecil.
And she shares a very unique thing with me, and that is her birthday. We were both born on the same day.
I always tell people I'm so important. Andrew knows my birthday.
There you go. She's a blessing.
This is our media area over here. We can actually print and burn anywhere between, again, 2,500 and 3,000 discs on a daily basis.
This is a big difference than when I first started duplicating tapes between 2 cassette recorders with the patch cord. Actually, I started without a patch cord, and I'd put them both in a shoebox to cut out all of the outside noise. Then I got high-tech and put a patch cord in, and then we got a Wallensack duplicator that could duplicate 2 tapes at one time, and then we put them in a string, and now look what God's done.
On the other side of the property, Andrew paid a visit to our communication services department. Started by a handful of volunteers in 1991, our communication services department now has the most employees in the entire organization, with staff providing free prayer and encouragement 24/7, as well as bilingual ministers and a partner relations team who give outgoing calls to the very people making this all happen. But of all the people answering phones, there is one person not allowed to do so.
I was answering phones, and I was getting in and help, and they kicked me off.
We've heard stories about that. We never quite heard why, though.
I told somebody, just pull your thumb out of your mouth and grow up, and they said, you can't say that. And I said, it's my phone. But anyway, so you guys do a great job. How many calls did we take last year?
Over 873,000. 20% of our calls are for partnership base or for product. The other 75 to 80 are for prayer, for ministry, and man, God's doing some awesome things. So out here we have where all the phone ministers will sit and take the calls or make outbound calls. This row is full of our support staff. Now these are the ones that really make what we do here possible. We have support staff for the phone ministers. We have trainers down here. We have our recruiters who recruit and hire people from all across the country. These are the ones that make what we do possible.
With a phone center handling nearly 1 million calls per year, a written correspondence team, and a prison ministry ushering in revival to the penitentiary, our communication services team has come quite a ways from that early band of volunteers. But even with all this quantity, our prayer ministers have prioritized God's patience and love so that anyone calling in gets a quality time of exhortation and encouragement for whatever breakthrough they need.
I walk through here and say hi to the prayer ministers and stuff like that, and most of them are on the phones, and I will be walking by and somebody will go, in the name of Jesus, and boy, they're binding the devil and they're releasing the love of God, and it's just awesome.
Yep.
In fact, sometimes I get a little loud here, as I know, because I'm just getting so excited and using the authority, obviously, you've taught us, and it is really fun, though, because it works. I always say the word works if you work it, and so we're just standing together with that caller, and it is amazing. Like I said, the testimonies that are coming out of here, the growth in this ministry, and, due to a lot of what you've taught us as the foundation.
Thank you, friends and partners, for helping Andrew connect with his viewers around the globe through our communication and product services departments. We've certainly come a long way from a handful of volunteers and duplicating tapes and shoeboxes, but the vision and heart behind both have not changed since March 23, 1968. Next week, join Andrew as he visits the team taking the gospel message deep while duplicating the Charis experience across every time zone.